Welcome, my name is Anton Van Thomas, and what we're working on here is poon-sau. Poon-sau is what you learn when you first enter into learning double sticking hands. Before we can understand double sticking hands, we need to understand what poon-sau is and how poon-sau helps us. Poon-sau is the process where it's teaching us to try and harmonize or blend or kind of find the center, especially in our energy and in our sensitivity, in our timing and flexibility. So poon-sau, that process is very difficult to learn, but it is simple because it only depends on bong-sau, tan-sau and fuk-sau. Later on you will see the hun-sau come into play. But it's basically only three shapes. But with these three shapes, we have to try and adhere to what the Tsun is saying. We cannot do anything in chi-sau, we cannot do anything in Wing Chun unless it adheres to what Tsun is laid down. Okay, we have a bong-sau, we have a tan-sau, and we have a fuk-sau. Play. Tsun says fuk-sau belongs somewhere around here, the center line. Bong-sau belongs somewhere here, slightly forward and tilting. Tan-sau, again tan-sau, you can see is roughly got one fist distance here where the elbow is. Poon-sau is to try and harmonize these shapes. Tsun is the theory. Now chi-sau is the demonstration of that theory, but it should be the highest demonstration. Basically everything that you learn from the forms, from your techniques, from everything that you've actually done, wooden man, first form, second form, third form, all of it still has to rely on Tsun. So then, it's important to try and develop this Tsun, but make it functional now. Yeah? So take a look at this. Okay, Jack is holding a tan-sau, and I'm holding a fuk-sau. Jack is holding on his left side a fuk-sau, and I'm holding a bong-sau. Now again, what we're going to try and do is Tsun says fuk-sau belongs something like this. Tan-sau belongs here, something like this. Again, fuk-sau belongs something like this. Now we have to try and maintain this structure as we set the poon-sau in motion. So poon-sau is basically the rolling of hands. Now as the hands are rolling, we have to try and adhere to this structure here. Okay, let's have a look. So as we roll, we're concentrating on keeping the Tsun correct, which means the geometry of the hands. If I just change here, I'll explain that change in a minute. But again, if you look at the fuk-sau, and look at the bong and the tan-sau operating, they have to look very close to what Tsun lays down. I change again. Again, I am met with fuk-sau versus bong and tan. I change again. I now have bong and tan, and Jack is holding two fuk-saus. Look at how I change. The tan-sau will go forward, but I've slightly kind of turned my body so in order to give some resistance here. As Jack is resisting, I take that resistance and then work with it here. Let me show you again on this side. As I drop in, I add forward energy as I'm going to change. When Jack feels that forward energy, he adds a little bit of forward energy in order to keep the stick as we change. Just watch the other side. I change, so I'm adding energy. Also, Jack feels the change, so Jack is adding energy. I change, Tansa. When it's time to change, I chi-sau and change underneath. I change my left, I go forward with the Tansa, I chi-sau and change to the outside again. Again, I turn here to give pressure. He feels that pulse of energy and he resists against it. That is what's keeping my tangibility when I change. If the energy becomes too hard or too soft, you will lose this grip and the poon-sau will fall apart. So it's very important to maintain that forward energy. If you don't maintain the forward energy, everything breaks down. Now, it's not just forward energy we're studying when we come into this poon-sau process. We're studying how to maintain our sensitivity. We're studying how to maintain proper timing. We're studying how to maintain proper flexibility. And of course, the geometry. That's very important too. Geometry means our structure or hand positions, even our structure when we're returning. Now, all you have to do when you're practicing this poon-sau is to try and feel that these things are happening. It will break down, but then you must keep practicing. Let's show you that again. Okay, we will start in this position or this position, makes no difference. But the moment we make contact, we have this forward energy, kind of pressing or like resistance. But that resistance only goes to kind of the skin level. If the forward energy is too weak, it means then you're kind of on the hair level. That's a bit too weak. You can't control each other with that. There's no tangibility there. Now, if the forward energy is too strong and I feel the bone, then that can't function either once you set that in motion. You have to imagine something like a car engine now. All the bits and pieces have been bolted together. If they've been bolted together and not been tightened up properly, and then you start that engine, well, it's going to fall apart, isn't it? If they've been bolted too tight and then you start that engine, perhaps the same thing's going to happen. But you will not get smooth function. And this is what we're trying to procure right now when we practice poon-sau. We cannot go into even using techniques. We cannot go into chi-sau until we understand how to keep our energy balance, our sensitivity balance, our timing balance, flexibility, and these things. Now, you cannot see these things. This is why you have to experience it. Contact, I have forward energy here. When I switch, I make sure the forward energy does not change. It doesn't become weaker, and it doesn't become stronger. It's just enough to be toyable. Now, you must concentrate on this. It's the sensitivity's job to tell you if the energy is feeling different at any given time. And when I'm changing here, I'm toying with Jack's energy here too. So we're both concentrating on keeping and maintaining that forward energy. Okay. Once you've got this understanding to a reasonable level, this is what you want to try and do, is you want to try and just complete a couple of simple chi-sau techniques. Poon cell is what's responsible for sensitizing everything. Once that sensitivity is in check, then you know you can control your opponent. Let's have a look at a simple technique. Okay. The technique's going to happen here. As I drop Tan Sao, I will usually come back to Bong, but I'm not going to come back to Bong here. I'm going to come back to another Tan Sao and turn at the same time. As I do that, I send a pulse which prompts Jack's energy. Jack wants to resist, so I allow him to resist. And then I can come here. Let me show you that again. Now, the idea is to keep the tangibility or the control. If you don't keep the tangibility or the control, you will not be able to arrive at certain things like this trapping. Okay, let's see that again. I Tan Sao. Instead of coming back to Bong, I Tan, and then I Tan Sao this way. Now, watch here, in slow motion. As I move the Bong Sao across, this hand here is keeping this hand in place. Now I can switch, and then I will drop down with a Lan Sao and punch again, and hold him here with a La Sao. So, let's take a look at a couple of simple applications. Remember, they will depend on how well you procured your forward energy, your sensitivity, your flexibility, and your timing, etc. I give a Tan Sao here and usually give a Bong Sao back here. But when I come to do this particular technique, I will give Tan Sao and then Tan Sao again. Observe this hand here. So really I'm giving him a pulse of energy pushing him this way. He wants to come back this way. So I allow him to come back. And then I can drop and hold him here with a Lan Sao and punch. And La Sao and punch. Let's just see that at normal speed. And again. Okay. All right. One more time. Instead of Bong Sao, I give Tan Sao. Just take a look at the other hand, Phuc Sao. Phuc Sao turns into like a gum. Why? Because I'm pushing him out, but I can feel his resistance wants to come back at me. So I allow him to come back. Look at this hand here. I put it into like a Park Sao to keep control, and this hand is moving into Bong. As it moves into Bong, I can La, I can hit, I drop down to control with Lan Sao, and I hit, I La Sao, and I hit again. All right, let's have a look at one more simple technique. This time, my Bong Sao will attack Jack's Tan Sao. Why? Because I feel it coming through a little bit. So, this is what I do. Here, I allow it to come through, but I attack here at the same time. Watch that again. Now, this hand may automatically want to block, but that's okay because now I've got this. And I can punch again in this way. Let's see that in real time. As I drop here with the Bong Sao, Cow Sao, I keep a forward energy on this one here too. And my Phuc Sao will come away here as the punch. And then I will drop here Pull this in, hit, lance out and hit again. Let's see that once more. And again. Let's slow that down. Okay. See you next time.